So we're super early into this NBA offseason, but already we've seen all kinds of crazy trades going down. KD being traded, Desmond Bane being traded are two of the biggest ones. You see the Celtics starting to tear down their championship team from just last year. But the one thing that I have noticed as of late, especially this offseason, is that first round pick values make no sense anymore, and what teams can get for certain players doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Now, I've compiled a list from last trade deadline as well as this offseason so far. I'm just going to start at the top at last trade deadline, looking at just straight first round picks that players got, or the teams that traded these players, what they got back for their players. Starting with Marcus Smart going to Washington. The Grizzlies actually had to give up a first round pick to move him. Brandon Ingram, the Raptors gave up one first round pick to get him, sent one pick to NOLA. Miami Heat only got one first round pick for Jimmy Butler, sending him to Golden State. Kyle Kuzma only got one first round pick from the Bucks. Chris Middleton in the same trade was worth no first round picks whatsoever. Nurkic being moved from the Suns to Charlotte. They did give up a first round pick to move him. De'Aaron Fox going to San Antonio. The Kings made it up big. They got 3 first round picks. Zach LaVine going to Sacramento. The Bulls got 1 first round pick. And then the big one, Luka only gets 1 first round pick to go to LA. Anything about this offseason, Desmond Bane got 4 first round picks. Just think about the list that I already just said. You have Luka in there, you have Zach LaVine, you have De'Aaron Fox. None of those guys got 4 first round picks, but Desmond Bane did. Then KD, obviously KD's getting up there in age, so it makes sense that he's not necessarily worth a ton, but to only get 1 first round pick, granted it is a top 10 pick in number 10. I mean, I don't know. I could see more value from KD. Porzingis getting no first round picks was pretty surprising to me, that they only got second round picks to move off that contract. Mark Williams was really the one that was like, okay, I need to make this video. 2 first round picks for a guy that just a couple months ago they only got 1, and then it was a rescinded trade. Granted, they were getting a young rookie prospect and another solid young piece, but now they get 2 first round picks for this guy, and KD gets 1, Luka gets 1. Like, the market is just so messed up at this point, and trying to find a reason, I go back to the Rudy Gobert trade where the Timberwolves traded, I believe it was 5 first round picks for Rudy Gobert to the Utah Jazz, and I think ever since then the whole NBA has kind of been in shock of, you make these big moves. If you're Orlando trying to get like the last piece to your team, I could see you going out and making a splash, giving up 3 to 4 first round picks, but outside of that, people are very productive with their first round picks now. They're only giving up 1 to 2, if that, for players to make these big swings. We're just seeing a lot of players being moved. It's almost like the market's self-correcting itself, kind of like in the economy. Sometimes the market just corrects itself. We're kind of seeing that in the NBA when it comes to trading. We haven't seen it since I've been watching basketball. I haven't seen anything like this. I've seen multiple trades that have been record numbers of first round picks, and now I'm seeing the reverse of that, where there isn't a lot of first round picks being moved whatsoever. But these trade values just seem very crazy to me. And again, we're looking just strictly at first round picks. I'm not looking at the overall trade value. We need to consider all of the players. Obviously, some of these trades, the teams are making these for a reason. They think they're fair trades, so obviously the value is there for both teams. But we're coming from an era where you see the Rudy Goberts of the world. You see Damian Lillard, I think, got 2 first round picks. I think Bradley Beal got 2 to 3. I think Chris Paul, when he was traded from the Warriors, I think they got 1 to 2. I could be wrong. Could be a different Chris Paul trade I'm thinking of. But you're coming out of an era where almost every single trade you're seeing these enormous amounts of first round picks attached to them, to now see a lot of those same names, and then basically what is the next era's version of that player, in terms of like Desmond Bane being like a borderline all-star player. That type of player 5-6 years ago was getting 2 to 3 first round picks. He's worth 4, but then you see Mark Williams get 2 first round picks. It's just really weird. It doesn't really make any sense. I mean, Desmond Bane is really the only one that it makes sense to me, in the sense of it's the same thing as the Rudy Gobert trade. You go and get what you think is your last piece. Outside of that, like, KD makes no sense to me. That was only a 1 first round pick deal. I think the Luka trade also reset the market, kind of how the Rudy Gobert trade started the precedent that you need to spend your first round picks to get better, and we still have some of that around. I think the Luka trade shows that sometimes you just need to throw talent around instead of first round picks to get what you want. Now we're seeing a ton of trades with very limited amounts of picks. It's almost like it's a different market now than it was even 6 months ago when it comes to trade values. It's just very interesting to see how these things ebb and flow. It'll be interesting to see how it affects free agency, as we're already starting to see The second apron is starting to ruin some things. That's a whole different video. I mean, you see the Boston Celtics blow up their whole core dang near because Jason Tatum's hurt and they don't want to pay that luxury tax. And so now you're seeing other teams starting to cut players to try and avoid their aprons that they're in. But we could see what we're seeing in draft value and draft picks being traded. We could see that affect contracts at some point. It'll be interesting to see how that works when this full picture starts to develop of the CBA. And I don't know if this is because of the CBA finally kicking in as it has the last couple of years, if it's going to self-correct like this because now first round picks are so valuable because they're cheap contracts, or what it is. It's just weird. The other thing that was very weird to me is that teams were super safe and secure with their first round picks throughout the season and in the early offseason, and then draft night it was you're trading a first round pick and then a first round pick in 5 years to move up 2 to 3 spots. I mean, draft night we saw so many different trades happen. I mean, Derek Queen, they traded, I think that was 10 spots. They traded to get up 10 spots, 1 pick. I think I saw another one, I'm blanking on the name right now, but I think it was 16 to 21 was a 5-pick jump, and I believe that was a first round pick. Again, I might have the numbers off just a little bit, but I mean, you're seeing draft picks getting thrown like crazy on that specific night, but then for proven NBA players, nothing. It's a very weird market right now, and it makes you really think about what the CBA is doing that potentially is causing this, why teams are doing this. Is this a self-correct from the Luka trade, or is this still we're dealing with the Rudy Gobert trade? But Desmond Bane, it looked like maybe we're going back to just massive hauls of first-round picks. I don't know if teams are trying to stop another team like OKC from just making a massive haul of draft picks. I don't know if teams are refusing to trade draft picks because they don't want another team to become OKC and they want to become OKC. They want to hold on to their own and get some. It just seems like a very weird market where you see OKC super dominant and they have all these picks. You want to do that, but if you're not in the position to do that, if you don't draft like they do, if you're not as good at drafting, if you're not as good at scouting, well, you need to make trades to make that happen. Now you're giving up first round picks, so what's the workaround? It's more players. I don't know. There's so many different angles you can look at this, but it was something that caught my eye. I wanted to talk about. It's just really weird. Players that you wouldn't think are getting as many first round picks as they are shouldn't be getting that many, and then players that should get more aren't. It's just weird. I don't know. I think you look at the Rudy Gobert trade, Luka trade as 2 examples as to why trading is the way it is right now. But there's so many different things to factor in. I more just want to open up a conversation of what is going on in the NBA when it comes to trade values and first round pick values. So as you can tell, I am not in my normal location. I've been traveling with my family. I am on vacation right now. So a little bit of a different backdrop. The next 2 or 3 videos outside of my like Las Vegas Fortune series that you're going to see here as I have some free time to edit, the next couple of videos you're going to see are going to be clearly inspired by me traveling. I have a couple good ideas coming up. I'm also messing with the settings on my microphone to see if I can get the sound a little bit better. I think this is a little bit better. Bad example because I'm outside where it's windy and there's seagulls and there's cars and there's people, but I don't know. Hopefully this isn't bad quality, and hopefully I didn't ramble so much that you don't really know what my point was. Let me know what you think about what the trade market is, especially for first round picks, how you interpret it. What do you think the trends are going to be moving forward? I'm really interested in this being a conversation, and I'm excited to look at the comments and see what you guys have to say. And other than that,